guys, welcome to A Little Bit of Monica. We are heading into a new month, which means it is time for my June TBR. I have a lot of things planned for this month, and I think I'm getting in over my head again, but like, my TBRs are always ambitious, and I think I accomplished a lot based on my May TBR, so I'm hoping I can use the momentum from May, where I've had a spectacular reading month, to propel me into June and help me to be as successful as I, delusionally think I'm going to be. So splitting this up into a couple of sections, I am going to have a couple of book club books that I want to focus on. I am going to have a section that is relatively new to my TBR where I'm focusing on my NetGalley arcs. I'm seriously behind on some of them. I'm still trying to catch up on some from February and April, and so I really want to be able to catch up on these. So my new segment of my TBR is making sure that I'm adding any books that are released during that month, that they are prioritized on my TBR to make sure that I'm getting them done and being able to talk about them at the release date. And then the final portion of my TBR is going to be things based on videos that I have planned. I am going to continue with the weekly vlog style, but I do really like having themed vlogs, or at least like a goal for the week of things that I want to try to accomplish, either like a genre theme, a trope theme, or just like a week of NetGalley arcs. Something along those lines. I've been really enjoying doing that in May, and I'm going to try to continue that in June. So I do have some books that I have picked to kind of try to keep me focused, but honestly, I think June is going to be a little bit chaotic as far as keeping up with my actual TBR, because there's going to be some curveballs thrown in June that I need to be ready for, and some of these books might not end up working the way that I want them to. So to start off with my plan for June, first of all, I am going to be participating in the Amazing Readathon hosted by Bri from Four Paws in a Book. This is a month-long readathon that is fashioned after the Amazing Race. It is a team-based competition, and each team is based off of a reading genre. So you pick the team that you want to be on based on the books that you typically read, because you get bonus points for reading books during the month that fit your genre, your team's category. So I am on Team Spooky for the Amazing Readathon, and our team leaders are Leandra, the TBR Zero, and Lexi from Books with Lexi. I'm really excited to be on this team. I have just been having such a good time with horror and thrillers lately, so I'm excited to be on this team where horror, thrillers, and mystery are the main focus. So you get bonus points for any books that you read during the month that fit those categories. So with the Amazing Readathon, there's going to be new prompts that are provided throughout the month, which means there's things that I can't really plan for, but there are also sightseeing prompts that are available that you can kind of fit books to as you get to them. And so there's a lot of sightseeing prompts, like a lot of them. And so I think what I'm going to do is kind of just read, and when I finish a book, figure out what prompt it fits to, because I am fairly certain, after browsing the prompt list, I'm fairly certain that most, if not all, of my books will fit various of the prompts to choose from. So I'm not going to worry too much about that yet. We're going to see how the actual month progresses. But aside from the Amazing Readathon, there are two book clubs that I have the books for that I will be reading this month. The first one is the Pyramid Book Club that I host along with Lexi from Books with Lexi and Michelle from Michelle's Library. You can find her primarily on Instagram. And we have a Discord book club. It used to be run on YouTube, but going forward, we are primarily running it out of the Discord group, which you can find listed in my description. And we are basically still going to pick a book per month and focus on that, but really we're going to just keep the conversation in the Discord. So the June pick that we have decided on, I have it right back here because it just came out last week and I got my copy from Barnes & Noble. It is Ruth Ware's One Perfect Couple. I really love Ruth Ware. I have read a couple of books of hers by now and really liked them, so I'm excited for this one. Honestly, don't know a whole lot about it. However, if I recall correctly, this is about couples on an island, and I'm gonna be quite honest with you, I have a weird obsession with like deserted island type of vibes. TV shows, movies, if it's about a deserted island, I either have seen it or immediately am adding it to my list. Like, I just love island focused dramas and thrillers and everything like that. So I'm really excited for the vibe of this one. Also, I really like this cover. I love the dark blue of the background, but the bright yellow is a little abrasive, but also, I don't know, something about it I really like. The second book that I will be reading for a book club also happens to fall under my NetGalley arcs category. and it is the Lights Out Book Club hosted by Sav from Riveting Reads. And for June, she has selected Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. I read my first Sally Hepworth back in February and really liked it, so I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I have had the NetGalley arc for quite a while, but this book came out in April and I never got to it, so it is going to be pretty high on my priority list. One, because it counts as one of my backlist NetGalley arcs, and two, because it's a book club and I really love participating in especially Sav's book club. It's a lot of fun and getting to read the book, and then she has a live show, so I'm looking forward to that as well. I honestly don't know what this book is actually going to be about, but I believe it's a thriller and I like this author, so I'm looking forward to this one. And that also propels me into the next portion of my TBR, which is my NetGalley arc section. Now I think what I'm going to do again is do a weekly vlog that is dedicated to my NetGalley arcs. Darling Girls may or may not fit into that week just because I have enough other ones to fill it up, but I'm really excited for the 3 books that I have. The first one is Dad Camp by Evan S. Porter. This book comes out relatively early. I think June 11th maybe is the release for this one. I was sent this book and honestly I don't know a whole lot about it. I think it's about a dad who takes his daughter to like this camp that's supposed to help them bond. So this one sounds really interesting, although I don't know a whole lot more about it, but I really need to be turning around my NetGalley arcs, so this one's going on the top of my list. Next up we have The Nature of Disappearing by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. This one comes out on June 18th, and I actually have a pretty fun connection to this author because I did read her thriller These Silent Woods and I really liked that one, but also I had read one of her books previously because it was a required read for my college my freshman year. All the freshmen had to read her book and I ended up really liking that one as well. Fast forward a few years and I found out that this author also wrote a thriller, so I was very excited to try that, ended up liking it, and now here I am. I requested this next one of hers and I'm really excited to get to it. I have met this author a number of years ago through the college thing, and yeah, she was really nice, so I'm excited to give this one a try. And the final arc that I have planned for June comes out on June 24th, 25th? I think it's the 24th, but this is The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim. 1, great name. 2, great cover. I am obsessed with this cover. I think it is so creepy and so exciting, and I cannot wait to get to this one. I actually have no idea what it's about. Literally, the cover sold me. The cover and the author's name sold me instantly. So those are my NetGalley arcs that I want to focus on. Again, I will probably try to be reading these within the confines of 1 week, but we're going to see how it works, especially once we get these Amazing Readathon prompts and we will just have to figure it all out then. Moving on, I want to focus on some of the videos that I have coming up, and again, these are going to be relatively weekly vlog themed, where I am hoping to just kind of like read for a specific theme within that week. So let's get into what some of these themes are going to look like and some of the books that I hope to read during those times. The first one, I want to focus on some of my Illuma Crate special editions. I get their fantasy book every month, and honestly, I have not been reading them as like regularly as I should, so I am going to try to focus on some of these that have already come out and I haven't gotten to. The first one is The Principle of Moments by Esme Jikami Pearson. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. This one sounds like it is a like space opera. When I was very briefly running over the description a couple of days ago, it kind of was giving me like Dune, Star Wars type of vibe, but I believe it's YA. I am really interested in finding out what this one's going to be about. It is pretty thick, which is a little bit intimidating, but honestly, I love the colors on this cover. I think it is so pretty, and opening it up, like this inside is truly giving Dune vibes. So yes, I'm excited to try this one out, even though I have absolutely no idea what to expect from it, but we are going to find out. The next book that I have up, I believe this was January, so I think The Principle of Moments was the December book, so I'm a little bit behind on these, and I think Voyage of the Damned by Frances White was the January book, and quite honestly, have I ever seen a prettier color of a book cover? I don't think so. This is my favorite color. It is absolutely stunning. I think the like silver foil is so pretty. I'm obsessed. The edges, everything about this screams beautiful. And then the inside is like a map of the ship that they're on. So this is a like murder mystery on a ship where like all the leaders are there together and someone's gonna die and they're gonna have to figure out who it is. That's the gist that I'm getting without knowing a whole lot more, but I'm really excited for this one. Again, it's been sitting on my shelves for a long time. It is absolutely stunning, so I have so many hopes that this is going to live up to the like beauty expectation I have. Let's hope the book is as good. And then finally, because I am ambitious and a little bit delusional at times, I am going to add a third book in possibly for this week. I think I might prioritize the first two that I already mentioned because those were earlier orders, but I am going to keep this a little bit open just in case the Amazing Readathon prompts fit a different one a little bit better. I can kind of reorder these. But the third one that I want to prioritize is To Cage a God by Elizabeth May. Honestly, I know I said the last one was stunning and like one of my favorite covers, but this one is up there too, because let's just appreciate these edges. When I did my book haul for this, I quite literally had like an explosion over how much I loved these edges, and I still do. I think this book is stunning. I don't actually know much about the plot. The more time separates from when I got it, the less I know what it's about, which is going to be a great surprise when I go into it. So it's going to be hard to match some of these to readathon prompts when I don't actually know what's going on. But when it comes time to match a prompt, I will be able to look through the books and figure out which ones match a little bit better. But anyway, this is the third one that I want to put on to my special edition vlog. Again, just so I'm getting through these special editions and knowing whether I want to keep them or not. I love pretty books, but if I don't like the book, I don't need to keep it on my shelves. I can absolutely rehome it to someone who will appreciate it more. So I definitely want to get through some of these. Sticking with the fantasy vibe, I do have a couple of more fantasy books that I want to focus on this month, and these are relatively recent releases and books that I just feel like have gotten some hype that I want to be able to get in on. And so here's what we've got so far. We're going to start off with Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciccarelli. This book I have heard so many good things about. Like, I'm so excited to read this, and I finally got the Libby hold in for the audio, and I have it. Like, I already borrowed it. I didn't delay it. I mean, I delayed it like once or twice, but finally it came in a couple days ago, and I said, I will take this. I will take this now, which means I have to read this in the next like 2 weeks. So this one's gonna have to be prioritized a little bit. I believe this is a fantasy romance about a witch and a witch hunter, which, like, yes, I am here for all these vibes. I've heard incredible things about this book, so I'm just very excited to add this to my list. And then another one that I've heard really, really good things about is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. Now this one is intimidating as heck to me because it is so thick. But also I've heard so many good things that I can't resist the temptation, and my Libby hold for the audio is going to be coming in at any point. I did delay it once already, and so I know it's going to be coming back pretty soon, and when it comes back I think I'm going to take it because I need it. Okay, I need to get through this book despite how thick it is. I might end up having to maneuver my weekly vlog a little bit to make sure that I get through this in a healthy amount of time. Like, I might have to split it up and do like 100 pages a day just to make sure that I'm not driving myself crazy, because this book is almost 700 pages long. This would take me an entire week to get through. I'm just realizing how much that is. I have not been much of a chunky book girly, but I might have to become one to read this book. So yes, this is on my list. Again, because I have the audio that keeps coming back and I hate delaying things too many times. So this is going to go on there to be determined if I'm actually going to officially commit to it. Because I also have another book that is a brand new release, and this is Heavenbreaker by Sarah Wolf. This is the very pretty first edition that just came out very recently at the end of May, and honestly it's so pretty, and it's about jousting on like machines, I think. I love the video game Horizon Zero Dawn, in which you are on machines, like riding machines, fighting machines, and I feel like the description is giving Horizon Zero Dawn vibes, and I am here for it. So I'm really excited for this, but I'm also going to go in with an open mind, knowing that if I'm expecting Horizon Zero Dawn, I will not get that. Like, I just know. But it still makes me very excited to try this one out. Yeah, this one's going to go on the list, and I'm hoping to get to it relatively quickly. Because I have to read Heartless Hunter early on in the month, I think Heavenbreaker and When the Moon Hatched might go along with that pretty well. But also, I am not on the fantasy team for this readathon. I am on the spooky team, which means I need to stop focusing on fantasy and I need to get into more of my thrillers and horrors. So the last couple books that I have here are going to fit that vibe a little bit more. The first one that I have up here is Edenville by Sam Rebelin. Now this book I have heard is like so weird, like some people's weirdest book that they've ever read. And that just makes me even more excited to read it. I know Lexi read it recently, and Kelsey from Slime and Slashers, this was like one of her very favorite books of last year, which makes me very nervous and also very, very excited. I just know it's going to be weird, and I want the weird vibes. I've been feeling the weird horror vibes lately, so this one is going on. I know nothing about the plot, literally nothing at all. So it's going to be a total shock, and with how weird it sounds like it's gonna be, I don't know how this is gonna go. But the next one that I want to focus on is Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. This one's also a pretty new release that just came out last month, and I am obsessed with this like first edition copy that looks like a VHS tape because it is a thriller about some siblings who I think their parents die, and then they are watching some of the home videos and they're going to uncover some like really deep dark secrets of the family. I think that's what it's about. I might be wrong, but that synopsis sounds pretty dang good, so I'm hoping that that's what this book is about. I guess I'm gonna find out because I really do want to get to this one pretty soon. Again, with new releases, I want to get to them a lot sooner. I don't want to keep putting them off as much as I have been. And speaking of new releases, I left this one for last because this book might be the book I am the most excited for this month. And it fits into none of the categories that I have mentioned yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to prioritize this one like now. I might have already started this book by the time this video comes out, but I've just been so excited and like eagerly, impatiently awaiting the release of this book. And God bless Barnes & Noble for sending out the pre-orders 2 weeks early, because I have had my hands on Leather and Lark by Brynne Weaver for 2 weeks before the official release date. This book comes out on June 4th, and I got it 2 weeks early and still have not read it, but Butcher and Blackbird is still sitting at the top of my list of books so far this year. I read it in January, and when I tell you I have not stopped thinking about it, I mean it. That book changed me. Like, I don't know what it says about me that I loved a romance about serial killers so dang much, but I did. And this is the second book in the trilogy, but it focuses on 2 other characters, but one of them is another serial killer. So like, I'm here for the vibes. Brynne Weaver is that book. I'm out of words, clearly. So this book I am so excited for. I've been looking forward to having this book in my possession. So I'm very excited to have this one for June. And because it comes out at the beginning of the month, I definitely want to be reading this first so that I can join in on the hype for the official release day. But yeah, that brings me to the end of my TBR for this month. But again, this is, I think, going to be a fairly loose month when it comes to like thrillers and horror, that I'm going to be rotating things in and out all month long to fit the prompts that are coming up for Amazing Readathon. Things are going to change all the time, much like with Escape, where I have a plan and then it gets derailed because prompts change and I have to like pivot everything. That's going to happen again in June, so I want to go in being prepared for that. But I have this plan established so that like, even if I have to rotate which books come first, I still have them set as like, these are the books I want to try to read this week. And that's kind of my goal here, is to have each week set and then just figure out the order when I get there. But I'm very excited for the books that I have this month. I think it's going to be a really crazy month, and I know I'm ambitious for how many books I have on this list, because it's not just all of these, it is also all of the arcs. But like, I'm just really excited. I think this is going to be a really fun time. I hope that you'll consider joining the Amazing Readathon because Brie has put so much work into this. And the Discord is going to be poppin' all month, so make sure that you are joining with that. I will link her announcement video down below so you can have all the details in order to sign up for that and join in all the fun. If you are going to be participating in the Pyramid Book Club for June, make sure you join the Discord so that you can keep up with all of our discussion, because like I said, it's going to take place primarily in the Discord. And make sure you subscribe to Lexi and follow Michelle on Instagram so you can keep up with everything that we've got going on there. If you liked this video and you want to keep up with the things that I have coming, and especially if you liked the ideas that I mentioned for some of the videos you might see coming up this month, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on anything. I am very excited. If you can't tell, I think it's going to be a really good month, and I just can't wait for everything that's going to happen. So I'd really love for you to follow along with me. If you are planning to read any of these same books that I am, please tell me in the comments. I would love to hear the things that you're planning to read. If you have already read some of them and you have thoughts, again, I would love to hear them, especially if you're excited about it, because I want to get more excited for some of these. Like, I want to be able to hype them. But with all of that said, I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I really hope that I will see you in the next one. Bye!